Hello, and welcome along to the stream tonight. I hope that everyone is doing well. I am ready to do the stream. Funny story, I'm just rebooting my VM, and it's taking a little second to come back up, but it's now just let me connect. So let me just get reconnected. Hey Maurice, hey Jan, how's it going? Happy New Year. Um, I I'm literally just getting my RDP session back up just now. It had some Windows updates to do, so I thought I'll let it do it. How long could it actually take? And it took longer than I was wanting it to, but we're back up and running now. So let's put this back over here, and then we can get started. So the plan for tonight is to actually ship a new version of GitReleaseManager. I'd like to say we got very close last week, but that would be a lie. Last week, first stream back after Christmas, so there was a few bumps in the road, but we got a path forward. We fixed a broken build that was happening locally. We went through and we updated a bunch of Dependabot PRs, and then during the week, what I was able to do was to actually do the piece of functionality that we were looking to achieve, which was getting a new version of the GitReleaseManager global tool, the .NET global tool, so that it would run on .NET 6. So that is pretty much ready to go, I believe. So there'll be a little bit of testing tonight, a little bit of sanity checking, and then we need to try and ship it. And in order to ship it, I think I'm going to need a new NuGet API key because I believe it will have expired. So we need to make sure that we get that done as well. But with all of those things done, what we should be able to do is push the ship button. And assuming all that works, we then need to decide what we're going to move on to next. Hey Nils, how's it going? I hope you are. I did see it, Maurice. Thank you very much. I hope you and the family are keeping well, Nils. So let's where do we go? Okay, so on the other screen, I have just been doing another couple of last minute Dependabot PRs. So we should have all of those up to date now. And if we go in here and do Git Release Manager, I should be able to git fetch upstream. Just checking if it's working. Thank you very much, Maurice. I haven't been in the UI of that feature.chat recently, Maurice, but has it changed? Because like I say, I heard a rumor that there was new features coming to it, but I've not had a chance to dive into it yet. Glad to hear it, Nils. No, not really that I can see. Okay, no worries. I was just curious. Like I say, I believe that there was new functionality coming to it, but maybe that's not the case. So if I do a GHPR list, there should be next to no PRs left. Just the work in progress one and a very, very, very old PR into Git Release Manager to change how it works, but we haven't. That's not what we're here for to do. The sound's a bit low though. Is that just? Well, I haven't changed anything. It shouldn't be. Someone said that last week, Nils, but I listened to it back on the recording and it didn't sound low to me. And Maurice saying up your volume. But that's the second person that said that. So let me just see if there's anything in here that I can do. I wish I knew how to do it. You were the one that said it last week, so I'm assuming that that's fine for you now then? But what if I do this? If I put this up to 5, does that make it any better? Much better now, thanks. Does that make it any better? I've just upped the game. Not up the game. I've upped the game on the filter that I'm using. But I wish I knew how to do. I wish I knew what I was doing with this stuff. I really do. Noise gate. I'll try one more on the old gain and see if that makes any difference. I'm not going to go any higher than that. See if that works or doesn't makes any difference. But if not, we'll just plow forward. What we do? Right, yes. Same for me so far. Okay, I don't know then. I wish I need to. At some point I need to sit down and learn how to do things properly, including the lightings, which I'm not loving at the minute. I need to figure out how to play this, and I did see that. I'll go back and see that in a second, Maurice. I'm not loving my lighting at the minute. Oh, that's even worse. Let's take it down a notch. Ooh, that's maybe a bit better, is it? We're done with that down too. That was 6. Need to play with this properly. Ooh, it's maybe a bit better. There we go. Maybe not as washed out as I was. There we go. Right. Sorry, yes, there was an issue from Maurice that takes us over here. Oh yeah, that one. So I've seen that. So let's bring it up. So Maurice, oh, now it's gone even. It's because of what's on my screen. That's what it is. So when it's a nice bright color, no, that's gone worse. Oh, that's because I was. Oh, I'm going to play with that a little bit more then. So let's go up to 10. And up to 10 because I was on a white Google screen before. See, that's not nice either. Hold on. No, still a bit washed out there. No, that's worse. I have to stop playing. I have to play this some other day. I've closed a couple of those yesterday. Yes, I'm going to. Well, let's speak to that in a second. How do I move these at the same time again? Oh, that's not what I wanted. How do we lock them together again? Link. There we go. I think that's the one I want. There we go. Do this, then they should work together. There we go. That's better. So let's go. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to be doing this on stream. I do apologize. But I want to get a rough. Somewhere there. No. Just need to get Chrome on the screen again and make it. Right, okay. We'll stop playing with it. Anyway, right. What Maurice was referring to was this. So basically, this person, Igabek, I don't know. So they are doing some sort of university study at the minute, and they've found that they're doing some sort of bulk scanning of repositories, and they've identified a couple of issues with GitHub Actions. The ones that I've seen are specifically around Git version. I didn't realize that GitReleaseManager was under the same umbrella. But basically what they're saying is that there was a commit done in one of the actions which bumped a dependency. So if we were to go and look at this, then trim new lines, it made it so it was using greater than 3.0.1. So that has a knock-on effect on anyone that's consuming that action. So the suggestion there then is that you bump to a new version of the action. Now what they haven't done is they haven't provided a pull request to actually implement the change for you. They're kind of relying on you to do it. So if I'm right in saying Nils went off and did a couple of additions in the Cake.Contrib repository, I think. Am I right in saying that, Nils? So in the Cake.Contrib repository, let's see which one's been updated recently. So for example, extended NuGet. If we look at the commits that have gone into this, then well, maybe not. Was this one of them? That was coverlet. That's maybe not specifically for that issue, was it? I just saw you updating that one. Maybe that's not one that's been updated with that specific issue. JSON? Update README? No, maybe not. You know, can you point me at one that's been updated recently? I thought I saw you do one. Updated 7 hours ago. Let's try CodeCov. I want to try and find an example where Nils has fixed it, but I can't see one. Hopefully Nils will come back with an example, and then we can bring that up on the screen. But yeah, no, let's not talk about that until we find an example. And then we will circle back around and then actually get to GitReleaseManager, which is the whole point in tonight's stream. We will get there. Cake.Twitter. Okay, let's have a look at Cake.Twitter. Thank you. Cake.Twitter. Issue 888. So issue 888 has got open PR against it. So existing PR will take care of it. So in here, 82, right. So what I was going to speak to was you could get around this issue by just saying, oh, give me Git tools actions, Git version setup, and not pin to a specific version. At that point, when your workflow executes, it would just pull the most recent version of the workflow. So you would never be susceptible to any CVEs that have been identified. The problem with that approach is that you then leave yourself open to fundamental changes in how the workflow operates. So it's this double-edged sword in terms of, well, you might not get the latest CVE in each of your build executions, but you might also break stuff because something's changed. So what I've tended to land on is, well, we'll pin to a specific version of each action that we're consuming within our workflow. But in this, because of that, when there is a CVE identified, you have to change the number that you pin to. So it's not terrible, but it's just something to think about when you're going into this. And what Nils is also pointing out is that this one, workflows are referencing vulnerable actions. Gigabeck, thanks for the heads up, but master and develop are both pointing to the current 0.911 release. Interesting. So they maybe got a little bit excited with their release creations, unfortunately, or their issue creations, depending on how they're doing it. I don't know if it's manual. I don't know. And yeah, it was 2 months ago it was bumped. So yeah, definitely worth digging into the issues to see if it's actually an issue on your repository. And then Maurice is saying that it was already fixed by Renovate on November 12th, in which case I would just reply to them, Maurice, and say that you don't believe it is an issue on this repository. Because, yeah, if we check this commit and this commit here, when was it included? So it was included, it was added in, it appeared in 0910, and it's been there and included within 0911. So yeah, I think you're fine then. Okay, so there's a little bit of tidy up work that I need to do, and then we can ship GitReleaseManager. But what I need to do is just go through all the issues that are on the 013 milestone. and make sure that there are no duplicates from Dependabot. So for example, text copy, I know is at least one that has got a couple of them. So I'm going to grab this one, copy the link address and go into this issue and say that this was superseded by this one. I can never spell superseded. Starts with an S, I think. I know, I remember that you showed me a tool that would do that, but I don't remember where that was, Nils, or where that, did you publish that? Or where did that end up? I don't think there's many this time round, but I just want to make sure. So Roslinator, there's maybe a couple. Yeah, so let's go and grab this one. Copy link address. Still rough around the edges, but he's using it. So I remember you saying that there was a tool available, Nils. Superseded by this one. Oh, that's what I was going to ask people on the stream tonight. Let me see. It's not quite a squirrel, but it's something to think about. Issue syncer. GitHub action. Was it called issue? No, not issue syncer. Label syncer. This one. Has anybody used this action to sync labels between repositories within an organization? Has anybody used it? And if so, what was their thought process? What did they think of it? And Nils just showed me milestone cleaner. What does it do? README, install, usage. It's a .NET tool install. Okay, so it's available on. There's a published version, and then I need to do GitHub milestone cleaner version bumps, cake build repository, and then a token. I'll bring this up on screen actually, let folks see. So in here, the version bumps command is used to clean up multiple bumps of the same. Okay, I get you. We accept pull requests. Beautiful. And then if editing the README, please conform to this time. Yep. Interesting. I am going to. Will we give it a try? I don't have a token ready, so I need to go on and off screen to do it. And like I said, I don't think there's many in this one. So I'm going to wing it for this one, and then I'll give it a try for the next one, because I genuinely don't think that there's many left in here. But I guess we won't know that until we try. Now there's at least, see, I may be lying. Copy link address. Might just have been easier to create a token. But anyway, let's take these off and take these off. And then let's do. So normally this wouldn't be an issue because Dependabot itself keeps PRs up to date. So if there's a new version, it will close out a PR and bring up a new one. The issue here is that because there's been a gap between working on the release and actually getting it out, there's now the case where we've merged in multiple things, and there's been other releases since we did that. So it's not a failing of Dependabot, it's more a failing of not getting a release out once we've merged a bunch of PRs. So it's definitely something to think about when you start using tools like Dependabot, because I, for one, don't want to have duplicates in the release notes for if I'm bumping the same thing. I just want to know the final version that was included. So text copy, I think I already did. Yeah, and then that one, iDisposable, coverlet build we've already done, approval tests. Oh no, obviously didn't do approval tests yet. Or there was another one. Approval tests, copy link address. Or do I need to refresh this? Maybe that's what it is. That's what it was. Source link and unit. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so in which case I am ready to run. Oh, no, I've just said I've not got a token, but if I run this, I'm going to be a liar. Because what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to checkout, hit checkout -b, release 0.13.0 from the develop branch. And if all of that works, let's do a build first and make sure that everything builds. And then if that builds, we will run another build to generate the release notes. And if all of that works, we're going to ship it. But I think I need a new API key. So to preempt that on my screen over here, I am going to open up a new window and I am going to go to NuGet.org and see if I need a new token. So this one is this email address. Let's do that. I need to get my two-factor authentication token. Let's find that. It's there. So let's do. Oh, it's already changed. Sure. Okay. So if we go in here and go into API keys, then the Git tools at their. Oh no, it's. Oh. It says it expires in 3 months. So the question is, do we trust it? Yeah, let's run with it. Let's assume that API key is going to be valid. In which case, the push should work. Because when was the last time we did a GitReleaseManager release? Was that on stream? Have a look. September 20th. September. Wasn't that long ago, actually. So we should be okay then. Okay. But no, label syncer. I'm very curious to give this one a try because this is there has been a request or a suggestion that we need to make some consistency in some of the labels that we use across the Chocolatey organization. And this thing, I think, is what I'm going to try and use. I think I'm going to test it out on a couple of repositories first, just to make sure that, one, it doesn't blow away labels, because obviously if we've already triaged some issues and added labels to them, etc., I don't want those labels to disappear. But what I do want them to do is to pick them up and make them the same in terms of the same colors, same uppercase, lowercase, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, going to give it a try, see what happens there. So, don't know when I'm going to do that, but I am going to do that. Excuse me. I don't think I've missed anything in the chat. So if all of this goes well, any suggestions on what to work on next? My initial thought had been to go and switch over to Cake.Recipe and get a release out of Cake.Recipe. But then chatting to Kim, he has informed me that there are some breaking changes to the point that the tool will just flat out not work anymore, where we use when we publish the codecov.io. So I think we're going to need to look at that before doing a release of Cake.Recipe to either bring in a new tool or remove that functionality, which would be a shame because, yeah, it would just be a shame. But I haven't dug into it yet, and Kim hasn't really given me too much details. It's something that needs to be looked into there as well. Okay, so that worked. So now if we do target equals release notes, this is either going to work or it's not. And if it works, then I maybe could have ran Nils's tool, which would have been a shame. I do apologize, Nils. But if this works, it will generate a release note, set of release notes with the oh, it's doing a full build because GitReleaseManager, dog foods, GitReleaseManager. So it's generating the release notes for the new release using the new release. Oh, perfect. So Nils is saying he checked in the background while we were talking, or while I was talking, and ran his tool against the milestone, and there wasn't any additional duplicates, so that's good. Oh, what did that do? Drafted release notes available at. I would love if this were a clickable link at some point, but I think that can't happen. Or if it would, it wouldn't be within this shell because it doesn't support it. Do we go up here? Then we've got a 0.13.0 release or 17 issues closed. Breaking change, which was to remove the .NET Core app target framework. We've added support for .NET 6, and then there are a bunch of improvements, and then there's a bunch of build-related issues. So all of that sounds good. The one thing that I was going to check if I've got it installed, doesn't look like I do. So let's go ahead and do a Choco install the NuGet Package Explorer. Because what this will allow us to do, I do have it installed. It's maybe just not got a shim then. So if we go over here and we look at the build artifacts and we look at the but that build didn't do a final sanity check. Let's do a full build, because what I want to do is I want to look at the generated artifacts and then look into the innards of the GitReleaseManager.tool package and then check to see what target frameworks it has available. Because what we did is we added an additional target, which was .NET 6. And what we should see in the inside of the NuGet package is an additional folder that has that target framework available to it. And then from there, it's just like I say, it's just a sanity check to make sure that everything is in play. So let's do that. Oh yeah, and if you're still kicking about, you mentioned something on Twitter about a slight modification to Chocolatey GUI. Is that something that you are doing soon, or is that on the back burner and it will just arrive when it arrives? The reason I ask is that because Kim's been doing a bunch of work on the 0.20 milestone, I want to say, for Chocolatey GUI, getting to a point where we can ship a new version. So if that modification that you wanted, if that was ready, it could go in on that release, or we will wait until the next one. Because I think there's one issue left on the Chocolatey GUI milestone, and once that's merged, then we can look to do a release. I think I'm going to let it bake for a little bit to see if folks can catch up with some translation changes, because Kim's added in a bunch of new UI functionality which would require updates to the translation files so that it supports different languages. So I know at least one person on the chat is active on a particular language. I don't know how far you've got with that, but it would be good to have as many translations in there as possible. So that's getting to the point now. So now we've got a packages folder where we didn't before. One of those is a NuGet package, and one of those is, one of those is the tool package, which is this one. So if we open that with, why don't I see the NuGet package explorer link? That's very strange. It's there. Hey Corey, how's it going? I see lots of random emojis or emotes. I don't know what they mean, but good to have you along. So in the tools folder, like I say, we've now got a new target framework for .NET 6. We still have the old one, which is .NET Core App 3.1, and we've lost the .NET Core App 2.1, which we've now removed. So based on that, I think I am ready to do this, and I'm ready to do NoFF, the release branch into there, and I'm ready to do git push upstream and git push origin. So if all of that goes through, we will be able to ship that release. Corey's saying it's going wonderfully, just splendid, not wanting to punch Ruby in the face at all. For those that don't know, Ruby is not any female acquaintance of Corey. I believe he's referring to the programming language that is Ruby. It's been fun, has it? I thought you had it all working. Corey had a PR up to the Kitchen Pester plugin for Test Kitchen. I thought it was all working. That was your last message to me about it anyway. So let's go up to where we're going. We're going to ci.appfair.com. We will look in GitReleaseManager, and hopefully these builds have been succeeding where the PR builds haven't. Oh, that didn't look good. Why is that failing? Oh, that's not good. Well, we can fix it, but it's not good also. Let's go over to here, and we need to bump to a new build image version, which we spoke about last week, but obviously I never did. So that's going to be a build commit, update to latest build image. This is to allow for .NET 6.0 support. I really should have done that before, but I didn't. So git push upstream, git push origin. So Corey's saying, Joel told me I should fix something in it, and so I looked 4 lines above to make it all consistent, and I found in a single method they're doing string interpolation for like 4 or 5, or in 4 or 5 different ways. The scope of the PR that you're doing though is for one edition, right? So pick one of those 4 or 5 ways and run with it. That's what I would do. That's the way. Let's see if we can get this to work this time. I probably should have twigged that this wasn't working before, but I was just looking at the failed PR builds, because the PRs are known to be failing currently on AppVeyor for reasons, but I hadn't thought to check the actual merge was failing as well. That's a failing on my part. They are working on GitHub Actions, but that's because we're using a different base image over there, so nothing else to be done there. Corey, yeah, that was just going to try and make the method I copied a little more consistent and easier to read, but I've decided against it. Yeah, I would just get it working, and then there can be another scope of work to make everything consistent after that. That would be my take on it. So yeah, if that works, we can go to our draft release, and then we can look to, oh, I'm going to do this for this one as well. Nils, have you started using this one? Creating a discussion for the release. Because I'm thinking about starting to use it, but I'm also thinking we need to put it into GitReleaseManager so that you can say when you create the release that you want to create a discussion, and then which channel you want it to go into. So I'm going to create a new one called announcements, and I'm going to make it an announcement one, and then information about, so I'm going to say news next, news about GitReleaseManager. There we go. I'm going to say create, share updates and news with your community. Only maintainers and admins can post new discussions in these categories, but anyone, that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to say create that. And then, did it create that icon for me? Or can I change that? News. Which one looks like news? Announcement. Oh, of course, the megaphone. That's what we want. Let's do that. Oh, what happened to the save changes? That went a bit random. Could be I was zoomed in, that it was causing confusion. So we've got a new announcements category. So now when we create a release, we should be able to say that I want it to go into there. Nils is saying he's not using it yet. And it's not letting me do it there yet either. I'm going to have to refresh this, I think. So I'm going to say I want to create a release and I want it to go into the announcements category. There we go. Because what I think it does is it takes the release notes, copies them into a discussion, and then there's a thread there for anybody asking questions about the release itself. Now you may have noticed there's this new functionality that's in GitHub that is the ability to auto-generate release notes. So it does something similar to GitReleaseManager, but it does it on a looking at your pull requests and commit messages, I think. So if you're following the similar to semantic release process, then it can, I think, pull in some information and automatically generate a set of release notes for you. It doesn't do everything that GitReleaseManager does, so I haven't started looking at it yet. But if the functionality in here changes, then I mean I'm more than happy to retire GitReleaseManager in favor of some built-in functionality. But at the minute, it doesn't have everything that GitReleaseManager does. So I'm going to stick with using GitReleaseManager. So let's leave that. I spoke about that one. I have started it already. Look, oh, let's do this. I can create a list called useful tools and create, and then I'm going to put this into there. So now when I look at my lists, I should have useful tools, which has got one repository in it. Right, okay, happy with that. Anyone not started using the lists on your stars, then you absolutely should, because it's a very useful feature. I've only just recently started using it, but I think it will definitely help in keeping things more easier to find, because if I go to my stars just now, it's just kind of a random collection of stuff that makes it really hard to find anything. But with a list set up, you can split that into more manageable lists of things to make it easier to find things. So that's the release that we're working on. Just waiting on this build to finish. I think it's very close. It's very close indeed. They need to allow you to specify a list from the mobile app. Oh, is that not been updated yet? I mean, it's a reasonably new piece of functionality. Starred. They need to allow you to specify a list. You can create lists in the app, but you're saying on the app itself, you can't star it. Oh no, you can star it and add to list, or I can. Once you click the star button, it gave me the option to add to list. So maybe something to, well, actually, hold on. Let's see if we can do this. Let's do this, and let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't think. No, that's not what I want to do at all. Where's this? Where's it? Oh, hold on. Mine does. So hold on. Let me make sure that we're talking about the same thing. So let's do this. Why can't it see this? Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, here we go. Oh, system preferences. I obviously haven't used this functionality since. There we go. And then if we click away from this, and we go up to here, and we go back to here, and then let's make this a bit smaller, and let's go over here. Right, can you see this? So this is my iPhone, right? So we're here. Well, I'm pushing buttons here, thinking it's going to work. So we're here, right? I click on explore. There's me exploring some of the repositories. If I click on star, I've then got the option to add to list, and then I can then click which one I want to be able to add it to. So I'm assuming that's not what you're referring to. But if I go into here, what happens if I start it from here? Yeah, then I've got add to list. So I'm not sure why you can't do it. Because I can do it. Oh, okay, so this is obviously on an iPhone. What are you on, Nils? Are you on Android or are you on iPhone? That could be it then. That could be the difference. Android, yes. Can I see what version I'm on? Home. Let me stop sharing just in case I show something I don't want to. How do I know what version I've got installed of the app? I'm not sure if I can. Could go in here, I guess. Let's see if I can find it over here. Oh, there's a new update as well for it. Version 1.5 I've got installed. Well, I'm just away to install a new version as well. But dang it, did not work. What didn't work, Maurice? What didn't work? My build worked, so you're talking about something else. 4, 5th. Oh, well, I'm away to install. I've just installed version 150, which was released 20 hours ago. So it was in prior to that release. Oh, I see what you did. Well, that's interesting. I see it now, but I don't know why that didn't show up on screen. See what you did there though. But no, so that was obviously there before 150. So yeah, don't know. But screen mirroring works on my Mac still, so that's good. Okay, so that succeeded. We've pushed the master. I'm going to say that we can ship this thing. So I'm going to publish this. That's going to kick off another build. And then that's going to be tagged. And then all the bits are going to go out. So let's see how well that works. So let's maybe follow along with the build. Okay, so I'm going to open up again. So now that we've done the GitReleaseManager release, or hopefully now that we've done the GitReleaseManager release, what should we work on next? I don't know if Kim's in the chat room, because I got the impression he was maybe going to be hanging out tonight to discuss what he wanted to talk about with regard to CodeCov. But let me go and check on something. Oh, I need to do that. That's something else I need to do. Cake.recipe. Let's have a look at the current tools that we're using. Cake recipe, content, and then tool settings. If I search in here for CodeCov tool, it was specifically the CodeCov one that he was referring to. So he suggested that there was an issue with it. And he would know, hopefully, because he is a maintainer of the package. So what do we think the issue is? It's last updated in September. Support disabling, add debug, update accepted command line arguments to be similar to doesn't bode well. Lots of bumps. Yeah, okay. So I wonder if this is part of the problem? Yeah, I don't know. Come to speak to him. But if we don't do it through that tool, what tool should we use? Integrations. Uploaders. Bash uploader, Ruby, Dart. I think that's part of the problem, because there's not the codecov.exe that Kim manages is the only kind of .NET version. Whereas in the absence of that, you would need to go to something else like this, which to get it installed, that was a bit concerning. Deprecation warning. On February 1st, 2022, this uploader will be fully sunset and no longer function. Well, that doesn't bode well. We recommend all users migrate to the uploader. What's that? To prevent any breakage in usage. What's the uploader? Codecov uploader. Heads up, this is a work in progress. Well, that doesn't bode well, does it? On one step, they are saying this is what we need to use, and on the other, it's like this is not ready. So which one is it? When was it last updated? 4 days ago. Okay, definitely going to need to speak to Kim. Marisa saying that there's a GitHub action for CodeCov. GitHub action marketplace. CodeGov. CodeGov action, CodeGov bash. Okay. So Maurice's suggesting that on his Chocolatey project, there's an action to do CodeCov uploads. So if we were going here and look in workflows and look in the build.yaml, then upload to CodeCov, which is the CodeCov action, which was the one I was looking at here. So under the hood, what does it do? TypeScript validate helpers. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Uploader version. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. And then we're running uploader version. Token -c. Action version. Just curious as to what tool this is using under the hood. I mean, my preference would be to not move to a GitHub action, because then it's coupling us to GitHub actions. So for Cake.Recipe, I'd want it to do it in an agnostic way. And the agnostic way was using the codecov.exe uploader. But if that's being sunsetted, I may need to look into a different approach. Let's see where this is getting to. So if we go back to NuGet.org and we look for Git release manager.tool. Then in here, versions in here, and let's preemptively go to 0.13.0. It's not found, so it's not been pushed yet, which is good. Where's it at? It's pushing stuff. It's uploading artifacts, so it's very close, I think. Artifacts are all there. Nupkgs tools. Okay, it's very close. Oh, oh no, it's just someone liking the tweet I put out. Oh, so close, I think. How long does the build normally take? 8 minutes 50. That's very close. Very, very close. Insert waiting sound indeed. This is where I need some buttons on my Stream Deck that has funny music and sounds and fart noises, but I don't have that set up yet. Oh, what's that you found, Nils? What's that? Uploader. Is that supported though? Where did you find that random website? CodeCov.io Windows latest. Interesting. Started here. So does it suggest that those are going away? Or is there any mention of it being superseded? CodeCov uses separate upload, dedicated wrappers for CodeCov. Yeah, it is highly recommended to integrity check the uploader. For CodeCov Cloud, the uploader can be invoked as follows. Invoke request. That's just for downloading it and then running it. Okay. It reads like that's the only supported uploader started. I think I agree. This build seems to have hung. I know I'm jumping about a bit, but that build seems to have gotten stuck, and I don't know for why. Oh no, here we go. It's doing it. It's doing it. Publishing release packages, setting API key, pushing to Chocolatey. It's attempting to push it to Chocolatey. For those not streaming and want a way. It's definitely something. I know that Corey does a bunch of stuff with his Stream Deck where he has it kind of multiple levels of buttons and different things that he does with it, but I've literally got it to start the stream and stop the stream. That's it. I should really look into doing other stuff with it. So if we go over here now and look at packages / git release manager, is it that one or is it a .portable on it? Maybe a .portable on it. Virus versions, not quite there yet either. It's thinking. It's enough. I didn't click on it, Maurice. I did not click on it. I thought about it, but I didn't. But no, I mean, as you say, Niels, reading this one, it reads as though this is the one to use. So I'm curious about whether this is what Kim's going to suggest. And if so, then we would need, well, we could just call the exe just using start process without a specific add-in for it. That's taking longer than I would have liked to upload to Chocolatey. They're also on an older version of Chocolatey. Oh, you can't even see that. Well, the build failed. Why did the build fail? Why did the build fail? Process exited. That's not good. So it failed to push Chocolatey package. I'm now going to need to go and figure out why that failed. So bear with me 1 second. Where do I want to go? I want to go here. I want to go. This I can't bring on a screen, or stream. So I'm just going to have to talk through what I'm up to. But basically, I'm just going to go and look through some logs to try and figure out why that push of that package failed. Because here, and then this one, copy, this one, that's the wrong button, get release manager dot portable search. You're a liar. That is the package name, right? Let me get this right. That wouldn't be kissing, so would it? Paste, search. Oh, there it goes. Let's go and look up this one next. Copy, paste, search. Had an error. Looking at the logs. That is not very useful. That's unfortunate. Let me try that again. But because that failed, let's see, because that failed, that means that the pushing of the other NuGet packages also didn't work. So it did the uploading to CodeCub, but did it actually succeed? Excuse me. See, that seemed to work. So I don't know what Kim's meaning, because that seemed to work. But yeah, in terms of the release itself, if we go and look at this, then that's now closed and it has an update saying that you can get it from here, but you can't. So we're going to need to go and publish those manually. It has uploaded it all to here. Okay. let's do this then. Let's go to NuGet. I'm going to come off the screen just a little bit then. Let's get signed into NuGet so that we can manually publish this. And then I'll need to do the same to Chocolatey. Although I'm going to need to go and dig out a token. I'll do NuGet through the website. And then why is that password not working? That's why, because it's not that key. It's that one I want. Don't try and type a password when you are talking. Thou shalt not play with your ring. I can't. It's not a tick. That's the wrong word. But I do find that I play with the ring a lot. I haven't lost it yet. That's the main thing, Maurice. I would say I'm doing quite well, to be honest. Let's go here. Let's bring this back up because I'm now signed in. So now I should be able to go in here and say manage packages. I'll also say accept all. Let's add a new package and let's go back to that release that we were on. And it's not the one that we were on. It's this one that we were on. So for NuGet, it's this one and this one. So back over here, we are going to show in folder, put this up here, and then let's do this. Lots of stuff, icons, and submit. Not been published yet, that's fine. So back over here and upload package. And let's do the t'other one, which was this one. That's the one that people were wanting. Icon preview, submit. Okay. Then, like I say, I'm going to need to find an API key. I doubt if I have it set up. I don't. Let's pull this down here. Let's see if I can't get logged into CCR as the Git tools account to find the API key. Where would I find that? Oh, I know where I'd find it. I know where I'd find it. I'd find it over here. This one. Copy, copy, copy. Choco API key. Add. I need to remind myself not to do this on stream or to clear the screen once I have finished what I need to do. The Choco API key -K and -S. So Choco API key -key is that one. -S is https push.chocolatey.org. Clear the screen. Choco API key. There we go. Okay. So let's bring this back up. So then in our downloads, we want to grab this one and then cd into C users get 13 downloads, ls. That's the one we want. So Choco push, GitReleaseManager, portable, -- source. I think we don't need that because it's the default, but let's do it anyway. Let's see if that works. Of course it does. Okay, don't know why it didn't work on the CI build. We'd need to go back and play with that. But now if we go to here, then it's in the moderation queue. I'm just getting notifications from NuGet to say that it has published these ones. Hasn't been indexed yet, but it has been listed. Let me do one more thing, which is over on my Twitter DMs. I will go and send a message to someone who was looking for it. Evening. I have just pushed a new version of GitReleaseManager, which should have support for .NET 6. Can you take it for a spin and let me know how to get on? Thanks. Okay, so that was just getting back to someone who wanted to give it a try. Okay, so where was I going to go next? Or what was I going to say? Yeah, why did... I know this build failed, but this build is using a version of Cake.Recipe. Cake.Recipe. It's using version 2.2.1 of Cake.Recipe, and it successfully uploaded the code cov. Upload coverage report. So it all succeeded. So is that because that's going away as of tomorrow? What did those issues say? So that's the uploader. Where was the one that said it wasn't there? That was Kim's one. I forget what it was now. It was this one. Tomorrow. On February. Let's see what the blog said. I'm going to have a quick read of this. Introducing CodeCov's new uploader. We've created an entirely new uploader using Node.js that is shipped as a static binary executable. Okay, currently this uploader is in beta, but most standard workflows with its beta, we will be deprecating all other language-specific uploaders with special attention paid to the deprecation of the bash uploader. CodeCov has been developing a new uploader that does not rely on the bash script that we currently provide to our customers. Weaknesses of the curl bash approach. During a recent security event to combat this. What was the security event? Open a new tab. To combat this incident, benefits of the new uploader. Compile binary that makes it more difficult for code to be modified by a middleman. More secure verifiable distribution. Single code base. Okay. All releases of the new uploader are available. Okay, so that's where nil's got to. Correct? Yes. We can use use can be pinned to a specific version or the latest. Despite being in beta, many of the command line arguments present in the bash uploader are present in the new uploader as well. The simplest use case for the uploader is to curl it and use it as follows. So you curl it, you schmod it, and you run it. So for Windows, you invoke web request it, and you execute it. Okay, so that is what Kim is talking about then. We're going to need to modify cake.recipe because as of tomorrow, the current mechanism is going to not work. So was that code? That was the other one. CodeCov's official support for these uploaders will continue until the new uploader leaves its beta phase. Okay. Also, cake.codecov, yes. Because cake.codecov will currently source the exe from the NuGet tool, I believe. So cake.codecov will need to be updated to potentially work with sourcing it from somewhere else. Or it will need to have a method that fetches it and sticks it down into the tools folder on first execution. That doesn't sound pretty, but well, there's an issue already about it. Oh, look. Okay, so here's some more information. Maybe we should have went there to start with. It's a good find, Nils. The CodeCov team have deprecated the use of all community-maintained applications. The community-maintained applications will stop working in January/February. As such, this add-in needs to be updated to ensure it's compatible with the official binary. It is uncertain at this time if it will be a breaking change or not. Okay then. That answers that one then. Let's ask him the question then. I'm on the wrong keyboard. Worm. What are your plans for sourcing the new official binary? From what we can see, these can be found here. Where was that link? That was this one, this one, this one. Copy. Paste. Should the cake.codecov add-in source download this binary depending on where it is being executed, or did you have a different plan for this? Getting this out the door is obviously required before a new release of cake.recipe is made, since as of tomorrow its support for CodeCov will no longer work. Sad smiley face. Comment. Okay, now what was the other one? Bash uploader security update. Indicators of compromise, known IPs and scope. What did it do? between January 31st and April 1st, there were 108 windows of time where the malicious bash uploader script was affected. Unexhaustive. That sounds very concerning. Yeah, I don't even want to know. I'm scared. Okay, let's close out some of these and then decide where we're going next. So that's that, that's that, that's that. Oh, that's the one that was, yes, I think we did. I think we did. Although I don't think I did here. Although, hold on. Oh, I maybe never rotated it here. Should maybe rotate it here. And here being the Git tools organization. Yeah, okay. Hut Kim. That's that one. That's that one. Finish with that. Finish with that. Ooh, let's just check the discussion that got created. Ooh, look at that. So 0.13.0. We've now got a discussion that we created. Like I say, it's taken the release notes, copied it into here, but there's now a place that people can discuss the issue or discuss the release, asking any questions, etc. about it. So I think that's exactly what we need there, or what we wanted there. So I've got a bunch of notifications from various issues saying that all of that stuff has happened. Beautiful. Done. I'm just going to mark some of these as red. Ooh, that's something I was going to mention. GitHub.com. If you haven't seen it, then it's worth pointing out that Patrick recently made the source code for his Ghostly application open source. So this was prior to this going live. This was closed source because it was a paid for product that I'm assuming it still is, that you could buy from the Microsoft Store, or you could buy it through. Can you buy it through OpenCollective? I can't remember. But it was paid for product. It might still be a paid for product that handles or helps keeping your GitHub notifications in check. So you can mark them red, you can put them into folders, you can tidy them up, etc. You can filter based on different queries, etc. I know Maurice is a big user of it, or he was. So it's now open source. And I've been meaning to check it out because what Patrick plans to do, or what folks, or one of the things he wants to be able to do with it, is he wants to be able to have it run on places other than just Windows. Now that's one of the reasons that I don't use it, because my main day-to-day driver is Mac. So obviously trying to run Ghostly on my Mac isn't going to work. So I've actually recently fallen back to just using GitHub notifications, the UI that GitHub provides. I was a big long-time user of Octobox for reasons. I stopped paying for the paid for edition, so I didn't have access to private repository notifications anymore. So I fell back to using the GitHub notifications, the built-in UI, and obviously the mobile phone app that goes with it. That's actually not terrible with some of the updates that they've made. So I've been sticking with that recently, but if this does go cross-platform and have a user interface that can be used everywhere, then I might rethink that one as well. So yeah, if you haven't already, oh, look at this. I'm going to add this to my useful tools list as well. Absolutely. Maurice saying, I think it's now full open source, and he still is using it, still enjoying using it. I really like the tool. I can store my config in a gist and sync it between computers. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to bring it up because I found myself going over there to look at GitHub notifications, but I remember that Patrick had made this open source. So I wanted to bring that up. So what next? Because we obviously can't do cake.recipe because it's not going to work. What would we move on to next? Where's my open source to-do list? Let me have a quick check. Let me see if I've got anything on. Oh, there's at least one thing I need to do before we close out tonight. So let's have a look in my open source. I'm using my new tablet that I bought myself. I bought myself a remarkable tablet writing device for writing stuff down. I'm really liking it so far. Have a look at build system module. You might like it. Oh, Nils has done a new pull request. What's he done? Oh, what's this? 27 days ago. Oh, it's open. It's up from. Hold on a minute. Review PR from Nils into cake.build systems.module. Add cake.github actions module, implemented grouping in GitHub actions as well as error and warning logs. Ooh, fixes 1.1.4. Add better logging and grouping in GitHub actions. Since we have grouping in Azure DevOps and TeamCity now, we could add a GitHub action specific library that adds grouping to this as well. Additionally, marking warnings and errors should be possible. Ooh. There's some speciality about debug though. It seems that if we log to debug, those logs will be visible. If step debugging logging is enabled. Okay. Interesting. So that's just adding a new project. That's just a reference to the CS proj. That's just the CS proj itself. Where's the guts of this? GitHub Actions engine. Write start block. Write end block. On before setup, write start block. On after setup, write end block. For a task, we start that with a name. We'll look at that. Oh, I like that. Write end block, start end block. Beautiful. Why have you got a space there, Nils? That just stands out. Did you have that before? Is that the way you do things? Oh, I'm not sure if I like that. That's just a pure style thing. I haven't seen you do that before. You have them ordered correctly, but yeah, I'm not sure I like the space. GitHub Actions log, implementation of GitHub Actions. No, that's not a style. That's not a default style cop thing anyway. Or not when I used to use it. Initialize a new instance of that. Setting verbosity, column right on it, and then the module itself, where we register and we add a new instance of the engine, and we add an instance of the cake log. Look at that. So what am I missing here though? how does it know to register that module? Was that in the register method? Did I miss it? Register. Oh, there we go. I missed it. Okay. If the environment variable is GitHub Actions. Oh, I see. I read that wrong. If it's null or white space, the environment variable GitHub Actions, then we return. If it is GitHub Actions, then we register this, which becomes the default. Okay, makes sense. I like it a lot. Are you waiting on me or Augusto to look at this and approve it? Because if so, I'll take a proper look at it, Nils. But I have it on my list now, because that would be great to get added in. Yes, absolutely. Someone, yes. Okay, I've got it on my list now, as well as, so I've got another one here, which is there's a PR into Gazerator that I need to go back and fix. For those that are not familiar with that, Gazerator, that's a library that I can't find. Gazerator? What's it called? It's Martin's library. I thought it was Gazerator. That's what I was doing, wasn't it? Gazerator. Oh no, hold on. No, you're right enough. Sorry, apologies. Yes. Martin's library for doing rendering of Razor files. Because he's just recently merged in a PR from, I'm going to get the dude's name wrong. I do apologize. He's just merged in the PR from Khalid. That was it. From Khalid to add in the new logos for Gazerator, which are pretty cool, have to be said. And there's a PR open from me, which was to switch the preferred build agent, which I think is the GitHub Actions. So things like the updates to the build module would help in that regard. So I need to finish off that one. And the other thing I wanted to do was that someone asked for access to the Cake.Sonar repository. So I'm going to go and give them access to that. So this gentleman, Andre, wants to be a contributor / maintainer of the Cake.Sonar add-in, along with Tom. I'm not even going to try. So there's a couple of people who stepped up to help out with maintaining that one. So I'm going to go into the settings of that project, and I'm going to add in, I'm going to do this off screen as well, but I'm going to add in this new gentleman to get them access to that. So if I go to Teams, then I'm going to create a new team. Let's bring this up, and then let's go in here and say team. Put him over there. And then this gentleman's name, or his GitHub name, is this. So let's put that in there. Where do I edit this one? No, cancel settings. There we go. Team. I'm going to make that all lowercase, I think, is what we've done before. That one. And then this gentleman's name is Andre. Let's grab this one. Seriously. Copy. That was the wrong copy. Let's put that in there. That's the wrong paste, obviously. Get it in the end. Copy, paste, go back here, go back here, back here. Yeah, they're all lowercase. So I'm going to, oh, that team's already taken. So has somebody already done this? Or did he already have access to something? That, oh, I created it preemptively. Don't know. But let's go back. CL. 1 member, 0 teams. One member. No team maintainer. Why am I not seeing what I'm expecting to see here? Cake.Sonar. Sonar. Settings. Team and member. Confirm password. Oh, maybe that's the different thing. Okay, so admin. Okay, let's do that then. Let's go back in here. Thank you for your help with this project. You should now have admin access to this repository. Let me know if you need anything else. Reply. Now, what were they trying to show me on this issue? Add extra params. Is there anything I have to do here? Okay, cool. On behalf of team. Right, okay, that was him. Yes. Good. Okay, in which case, he should now be able to merge that. Okay, so there's that, and there was another new add-in, which was the Cake dot. Which one was it? Cake dot. This one, Resharper Global Tools. So there's a pull request. So Adasco the Beast, Adam, has been working on a new add-in. I'm going to stick you on as a reviewer on this as well, Nils, to have a look at. So they've created a new add-in which is for running dupe finder and inspect code, because those tools no longer, or the way that those tools are executed is different now. So dupe finder has been deprecated completely, but inspect code was you could still run it, but it's not the way that they want you to run it. So there's a new global tool that is the Resharper Global Tools, and rather than try and force the existing add-ins to make use of it, the suggestion was to create a new add-in and Adam has picked up the mantle to make that work. So he's got an open PR that I've not looked at yet to attempt to provide that functionality. So I'm going to put that down on my list as well. Review PR to ReSharper global tools. Add in. Okay, so that's on my list. So there's at least a couple of things that we could maybe look at doing. That we could look at doing on stream. But in the absence of anything else, I think rather than try and pick something up, I'm going to suggest that we call it a night. So unless anyone that's still left has got any questions, I'm going to suggest it's time to go to bed. So I'm just checking for any notifications regarding anything I need to look at before I go. Doesn't look like it. I think we're good. So on that note then, I will say, oh, I'm going to add that. Oh, I see it. Stevie pointed me at this tool, which is to easily cross-compile, package, and publish your .NET applications to NuGet and GitHub. He pointed at me this the other day. I haven't really looked into it yet, but I'm going to need to take a look at it properly because I think it could be useful. But yes, no, you're very welcome, Maurice. It's been fun hanging out again. So you just love it. So in terms of a recap, what we achieved tonight is we got a new release of GitReleaseManager pushed out the door. That was 0.13.0. It had support for .NET 6, which a couple of people have been asking for. The actual publishing of that didn't work because it failed when it attempted to do the publish to Chocolatey. We manually published the NuGet packages and the Chocolatey packages after that, though. Oh, the one thing it's probably not done is it won't have closed off the milestone. So let's just check on that. So issues. Oh no, it will have because it updated the issues. So yeah, there's nothing left to do there actually. Sorry. So we shipped the 0.13.0 release, which had 17 closed issues, most of which were build related ones. But there was one breaking change, which was the removal of the .NET Core app 2.1 target, but we added the .NET 6 target. A bunch of updates in terms of dependencies. Once that was done, we kind of scurried around a little bit, thinking about what we could be looking at next. And then I did one thing, which was giving access to the Cake.Sonar project for at least one other maintainer who's looking to help with the update of that. And got a couple of things on my list for what we can look at on the upcoming streams. But that, as they say, is that. So thank you all for hanging out. I hope you have a good rest of your evening, whatever you've got left of it. And I hope to see you here next week. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time. And talk to you later.